I had specifically fought against truth very hard, and that was the story for most of my college years. But growing up, I grew up in Flower Mound, just across DFW, and I started off great family. It was unfortunately a very common story, but I was involved in sports, suburban sports. I took way too seriously. I made grades that were like just barely good enough to get by, and that's all I wanted to do. And I had a real severe lack of direction, and really most of it was a meaning in life, real severe direction and meaning in life. So I would go to church with my parents intermittently, but I had no understanding of what God was. I had no relationship with Him whatsoever on a deeper level. When I went to college, that had given me the freedom to really disregard all the rules that had had a vague, I've had a vague sense of morality, but whenever I had gone to college, I had just given it up to whatever I wanted to do. So that led me to college, where I then had freedom to disregard all the rules, all impeded by a vague sense of cultural morality. And there I kind of grew into a man-child, and I really abused alcohol, and everybody really thought it was hilarious, and I thought I was the man. And then I objectified women, and I thought everybody thought I was cool. And I was really the king of the man-child. I felt like I was on top of the world, but I was really kind of just stepping on everybody around me. I used everybody around me and everything around me in order to kind of make myself the ultimate. That bulletproof exterior and hollow soul led me to a place where I was so reliant on external admiration that it was, that I crumbled after a college girlfriend had cheated on me. And how ridiculous is it, that a college girlfriend led me to crumble up my very core. I mean, that was all it took to destroy my confidence and my shallow identity. If I wasn't as awesome as I thought I was, then really kind of who was I after that? And I found out the answer to that was not drinking, drugs, pornography, and parties, which I delved into very hardcore. But even in that mess, I felt God slowly calling me back. He placed a roommate in my life that would entertain my arrogant theological jabs I would take at Christianity, because I was so angry at God, or what I thought was God, or that I had this arrogance about me, and I was taking it out on really everybody around me. He then also placed a beautiful, faithful woman who after college brought me to church every single Sunday, and I would willingly go, and she took me every Sunday, and I was just using it as fodder to diminish the word and the truth, and even use my own arrogance that I read everything I could about Christ, and I would take that and I would use it as debate material to try to deny that Christ existed to all my Christian friends. But in that, he just kept drawing me in. In that, he kept having conversations with people who were far smarter than me. I had conversations with people who were caring, and that didn't just look at it as a debate, but they looked at it as they cared about whether I was going to see them in the life after this, whether my soul was going to be saved. And So they didn't care to win an argument, they cared about me, and all of that just led me down this path of just thinking I had the answers, and all of a sudden I was being steered constantly back towards him. I'm in awe of his grace. I cursed at him, I exploited relationships with his children, and I tried to make everyone and everything God but him. It was embarrassing, to say the least, but I didn't know how long he would continue to stand there, like arms wide open, waiting for me. And I found out shockingly that the answer is forever. And that's what it felt like it took to finally get there. And I got tired of fighting the God of the universe and finally accepted his love that had never really gone away. I was overwhelmed by the support of all the people around me and community in Dallas and here in Melissa. It seems that God is using his people to constantly just bring me back onto the path, and I feel it every time I have conversations with just somebody in the church that just ends up. I know that baptism isn't a symbol of my arrival at perfection, but rather a public acknowledgement that I am imperfect and I am in need of a true relationship with the perfect Father through the sacrifice of the perfect Son, and that's my only real hope. I keep searching his word to point me towards who he is so that I may be more like him, that all my relationships in my life are more like his relationships, that the love just is always there, that I love my wife and my children and my family and my friends just as he has loved the entire church. And like, I don't feel like I can ever get to that point, so it just feels like there's always a draw to just be a little bit more loving towards somebody because of the love he's shown me and the grace he's shown me in the childlike behavior that I constantly was in and I never really had gotten out of for a long period of time. And in the fall of 2012, I finally accepted that love, and it's given me a lot of thought to get to this point, and now 2020 to finally just be able to sit back and say, like, I would love to profess his name and get baptized, and to know what it truly means at this point in my life, what it means to profess his name. Jesus says that my identity is no longer built on sand, and it's no longer a house of cards that can just be wiped out by someone or something, that everything that I stand on is so much more firm now. I have a identity that isn't based in fleeting things, that I know who I am outside of this world, and that it's calming. It's calming. It's calming to your soul to like have that peace. I strive to lean on him daily now, so that when the world kicks my legs out from under me, and it will, that I'm no longer subject to like the hopeless despair that comes along with that. But now my life is really truly rooted in a loving, awesome, forever God. My name is Michael, and I've been made new by Jesus.